So I do want to get into the heart of some of our matters. One of which is I do think the world of reality television is fascinating.
Fascinating.
And I think the biggest question that I have is there any part of you that thinks that your decision to join a reality TV show may inhibit your career in the future?
Great question.
Or change it in some way? Great question.
I think that I'm trying to be Cardi B, you know? I'm trying to... You guys both nod so seriously to that answer. No, but I feel like nowadays, you know, comedy is not just like a white dude going on stage, telling some racist jokes and going home. Sorry, that was
attacked. Okay,
that was a lot.
please.
But I'm just saying, like,
you don't have to destroy my whole act.
Careers.
I mean, I don't know why you need to make it so personal.
I'm saying that careers are not like... There's different ways to have a quality career, and I feel like I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that I felt in my gut it was a great opportunity to show my personality, and I want to go on reality TV, not to show people like, look, I'm on TV. I want to show people like, look, I'm on TV and I can talk about that I have anxiety. I could talk about that I had like fucked up relationships. I could talk about how women could be funny, but also feminine and also sporty. So I wanted to use that as an opportunity to just like show myself to the world, see how I was received, and for the people who like me, they can get more of me in other ways, whether it's a podcast or comedy. I'm just trying to be happy. And I feel like it was a unique experience that I wanted to be part of my life. I lived once and I was like, it sounds like mental warfare, and that's right up my alley.
Pretty good answer. What do you think?
Good.
Yeah,
that was a great answer, Francis. I also want to say that was a great question.
Great question.
This is something that really fascinates me because I have to bring up our dear friend Theo Von, and Theo Von is kind of like a mentor to me at this point, and he got his career start on Real World and Road Rules and a couple of those challenge shows, and he was only 21 or 22 years old. He was a kid from Louisiana.
Yeah,
didn't have a whole lot going on,
but great personality.
Yeah,
so
wonderful
people
guy.
Liked him on the shows.
Yeah. And he became very well known for that. He said he was more famous for that than he got noticed in the years following that much more than he gets noticed now for being a comedian. And I would say that he's one of the top comedians in the game right now.
I would argue that because of this time of social media, I have more control of telling people how I want them to see me, where Theo was in a time where like TV was just where people noticed him.
Right.
But now, like, if people like me from the show, I'm immediately like, oh, go listen to my podcast, come to this comedy show.
Yeah.
So I'm in more control of how I'm perceived, where I think it was unfortunate that he was in a time where just the media could control how he was perceived.
Well, right. So the thing about Theo is that he says it took him like 15 years to shed the stink of his reality television career.
Great shows, by the way.
They were.
Great shows.
We all really enjoyed him, but for him to rebrand himself as a very legitimate stand-up comedian artist took a very long time, because anytime someone would mention his name, the first response a lot of people had was, oh, is that Theo from Road Rules? He can't be good at stand-up.
Yep.
And we see like Jeremy Piven now trying to dive into stand-up. I think the leap from like respected dramatic actor to stand-up comedian is probably a little bit easier, but there is definitely a stigma around reality TV stars, and I don't mean to like hammer this home with you
100%,
but I'm trying to think.
You're a fucking idiot for doing this. No, I think you care about me and I care about you.
Yeah.
And you might be a lot of people were worried for me. I actually had a boss say I had higher hopes for you.
Oh, wow.
Like, people, I've gotten my shit
That's
from
ridiculous.
it. But my thing with reality TV is that, I feel like it's tough. I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that you never know what can happen in this day and age with social media and throwing yourself out there. And I just wanted to put myself out there. But also Summer House. Oh, sorry, I remembered my point. I was just rambling. Summer House is unique because it shows people who have a career established and then what we do on the weekends. So I've on Summer House been like, I'm a video producer. I write comedy. I have a podcast. So I show my career on the show, which has been beneficial for me.
Right. And the other thing that's underrated about this, the difference between now and when Theo was doing it, was then it's like you did reality, you were a reality person, and you were depending on other people to develop any other content for you. Now, if you're on a reality show and you have something to offer, you can offer it and people can choose whether or not they want to buy into it. So you're, like you said, you make videos, you have your podcast that you had created before you were even on the show, which you mentioned. So I think now more than ever, the quote unquote Cardi B model is very relevant, because at this point, the most important thing is people seeing you. Visibility. How do you get that visibility?
It gave me the visibility to then create my own content, because I'm not involved in like the creativity at all in reality TV. I show up, I do my thing, and then 7 months later I watch it. So I'm not fulfilled creatively. I'm fulfilled by like the stuff that I want to create on my own, and because of social media, I have the ability to do it. Where Theo, he had to like go to clubs and stuff,
right?
Night after night after night, where he could, right now I could just do a selfie video going, "What's up, guys? I'm on a comedy show next week," and people are like, "Oh, Hannah does comedy." Yeah,
I think given what you said in the social media aspect, it's easier to show the actual reality of your life behind what is framed and in some ways contrived by your reality TV show producers.
And I'd rather be on a reality TV show showing my vulnerabilities, like fucking up, oopsing all the time, than like just be an Instagram model, like pretending my life is perfect when it's not.
Totally.
Right. I think we can definitely agree that on the like hierarchy of entertainers, reality show personality definitely beats Instagram model.
Yeah. I mean,
I am honored. Thank you.
Yeah. And I can tell you from having been an Instagram model that it is harder to show your faults and not lose followers. I mean, if you post one photo.
Do you know what kind of pisses me off now? Now it's becoming cool to be like, hey, I just want to open up and be raw and vulnerable with you guys. I'm like, you're doing that for followers. It's still fake.
That whole thing of that Moat movement where it was like, okay, here's how I look without makeup. And it was as if they were like,
and I'm like, bitch,
fucking
you're wearing makeup still.
They thought they were doing Doctors Without Borders. And you're like, you fucking woke up and worked a little less hard.
But what's true is Bravo has given me the show. They don't give me anything else. So that's why reality TV is literally what you make it. You can go in, do the show, and then just like party the rest of your life and go to clubs and get paid $200 to show face. Right. Or you can take it and be like, you know, and meet producers on the show. Like I'm boys with like the executive producer who's working on other projects who I talk to, and I'm like, hey, I want to pitch this idea. Like you just gotta, life is about throwing yourself into situations, and I prefer doing things that make me uncomfortable or scare me. I don't want to take a job that I feel fully qualified for or I know is like the perfect fit for me. I want to do things that make me scared a little because I get bored when I'm too comfortable. I should talk to my therapist about that.
It's amazing.
It's healthy. It's very capitalistic mentality.
Yeah. I'm an opportunist.
Okay. So here's the question that I want to ask now.
This is intense and I'm into it.
Great.
Yeah.
So once, let's say, Summer House ends.
Yeah. Okay, Dad.
No, I'm saying like whatever, 3 years from now. Who knows? I don't know. Unless it runs into like syndication or something. How many seasons have they done by now?
We may or may not be filming the 4th season.
And 7 is syndication. Is that right?
I don't know.
Is it a non-union contract?
You guys are over my head right now.
Do you know
show up,
anything about
pee in the hot
entertainment?
tub, and I leave. I have people to deal with this shit.
Right.
Fair enough.
My job's to get drunk.
Must be
Am
nice.
I'm sounding pretentious right now.
No.
You're like
No, you're not.
So, okay. So here's the thing, right? You are uniquely set up given what you've been able to exhibit as side skills or other things that you're good at on the show to, in some ways, use the show as a springboard for your other avenues.
Yes.
But do you see yourself continuing to forge ahead in reality TV if Summer House ends, or do you think you may pivot into a totally different
One thing about reality TV is it actually, I like to call it like drunk group therapy, like dysfunctional group therapy, because you're constantly asked how that made you feel, how you want to cope with that, why do you feel that way? And I'm forced to deal with social situations that I would never make myself deal with if I wasn't on a TV show. I hate confrontation.
That's so interesting.
If I don't like you, I will just text my best friend and be like, yo,
Fuck
that guy
this guy.
Giulio, like he rubbed me the wrong way. And she goes, yeah, fuck him. That's it. If we're on a reality TV show, the producer comes up to you and he goes, I feel like you don't like that guy. I don't. Well, you need to talk to him about it. Why? You live in a house with him. Let's work it out.
Gotcha.
I have to confront you. So I've actually grown so much from it, which is awesome.
Wow.
That's crazy.
In a weird way, like I've matured so much from this show. But it is emotionally exhausting. It's very hard to date when you're on a show. It's very hard. Like my family, I had an intense scene with my dad because like he was my tennis coach.
Right, I watched that clip this morning as I was doing my due diligence.
Oh, wow.
As he showed up and you're
Giulio,
enjoying
you
your
are the
relationship.
sweetest. You are the sweetest.
Don't go there. Don't do that.
Your relationship evolved because it went from dad to best friend.
But
instead
I
of dad
want to let
tennis
them know,
coach.
like
I
sometimes
have a dad
didn't-
too. I don't know what's it's not a big deal. I talk to him all the time. It's fine.
But like I didn't always feel unconditional love because like after when I was young and I'd lose matches, he would upset him a lot. So I wanted to show that because I feel like the father-daughter relationship is so much more complex than they show in the media sometimes, or father-son. Then I was fucking stressed for 7 months that they might edit it and make my dad look like a dick. And if anyone had messaged my dad to make him feel bad because of my actions, like what I'm trying to say is reality TV is mental warfare and really difficult. If you come up to me and accuse me of something on TV, I don't know if you're doing it because it might be good for the show, if you're actually mad at me, how I respond, you don't know if a producer recommended I did that. Like it's fucking crazy. So the point is it's fun. I would love to like do a talk show type thing. Its point is I'm in unscripted and I love unscripted.
Yeah.
And I do love scripted too. And I feel like as long as I don't stay in something for too long, I won't be typecasted. And also to be honest, I don't think I'm like that good at reality TV because like I don't drink that much. I don't have a temper. I'm not like really, I don't get like slutty when I drink too much. I pass out. Like my one friend was like, if you're the star of a reality TV show, like you're probably not doing well in your real life.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
I think my career will naturally go with what I enjoy most and what I'm best at. And I think what I enjoy most is like interviewing and creating quality content.
Yeah. The reality TV
Sorry, that was a long-winded answer.
No, that
honors
was a great
the
answer.
most volatile person. So
Right.
in that light, I mean, if you're the person who is if you're the star of the show, as you said, it probably means you've broken the most windows.
Yeah,
And,
like let's
like,
be honest.
thrown
I
up
think
and
I'm.
had sex
I think
the
I'm the
most
comedy
times.
relief, and I'm the kind of person who, in the green screen interviews, says what the audience is thinking, and like so I'm likable.
The straight woman.
Sometimes, yeah.
Kind of.
Well,
yeah.
also, there's
Except-
two things that are like, there's important aspects about being good on a reality show that I think you're underestimating. One of them is being honest with who you are as a person.
True.
It goes a long way if you're just comfortable in your own skin
Yeah.
and behaving, because that's really
Do
important.
you want to be on the cast next season? Like you're pitching yourself. Do
right?
we have a thing?
What the fuck is going on here?
In the running.
I do wonder about how accessible a role on, not your show per se, but for someone like Giulio or myself to get on a reality TV show. I mean, how...
For something like our show, you become family, like you become really bonded. So if a certain person comes in and they don't mesh, like it'll be like oil and water because we've all been through so much together. And because the show has now gotten popular in the third season, now we get weird things where people will literally be like, Hannah, how do I get on the show? Or people will just start talking to me and be like, oh, who do I have to talk to get on the show? So we're also protective of like, obviously we're all thirsty bitches and want attention, but we want people to come in naturally. Like if I, let's say like start hanging out with Giulio a lot, I could tell a producer like, hey, there's a guy, I think he'd mesh well with the group. So it's really about chemistry, and because the show is about being real, and you could really sense if we don't want someone in this like family we've created. We really are a family.
So the cast is almost responsible for the new additions in some way. You guys have a voice on that?
For casting, we all have to send them names of people.
Board of directors.
It's real. It's not. Every now and then they bring in a wild card that they think will just like fuck shit up, but it's not like real world. We're real friends. We're not just random people put in a house together.
So why did, after the first or the second seasons, why did that Workus girl, why did they get kicked off? What happened?
So I think what happened is the house got divided in like a really tough way. Like, we're not the Real Housewives where like people, you know, try to like kidnap children and murder husbands. I don't know. We're more like chill drama. So the fact that the house got so divided, I feel like casting was like, people watch this show because it's relatable and fun and there's like relatable drama. These people hate each other. It's not realistic to have a summer house again. And Bravo has like so much data and analytics from social media to like quizzes or whatever. And I think they looked at the data and they were like, if this show is going to be successful, we need to reboot the cast.
Huh. Fascinating.
I do want to appreciate you came at me hard in the beginning. We both got defensive, but I appreciate how
I feel like I can do that with you though.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like now you do actually want to understand where I'm coming from, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna
like I still like Giulio more,
time.
but I appreciate
I get that. Okay,
but I
I
prefer roasting.
Yeah.
I should talk to my
you
dad.
do prefer roasting?
I used to like go up to my dad when I was little and go, make fun of me. And he would make fun of me, and I thought it was great.
Do you have any other questions about reality TV?
So a couple things. So first of all, I always wonder, because I know when you sign that contract, it's like, we can do whatever we want with this footage. And I know you alluded to it a little bit before where you're like, I hope they don't make my dad look like an asshole. Mm-hmm. Obviously there's moments where they probably make you look a way you don't want to look, or you didn't realize you looked a certain way. And I'm wondering, does that ever create like bad blood with the production, or are they good at navigating around it? Like, how does that work?
I have a lot of strong opinions on this. When someone says they have a bad edit, that doesn't mean that they somehow got manipulated to look a way that they weren't. Because if you're in the editing room and this conversation, they could edit to make it anyway. They can make it look like we're in a real fight. They can make it look like I'm in love with you. They can make it look like he's super awkward. They can make it look like you don't want to be here, just from certain faces. However, they would not manipulate every fucking scene in a show to make you look a certain way. That's way too much work. But if you're going to be a dick all the time, they're going to be a dick. You're going to look like a dick. A bad edit is when like maybe we both were assholes, but they just showed mine. Gotcha. So I'd be like, I got a bad edit because they didn't show like him losing his mind on me. But they really don't manipulate and make you look different than you are. There's been like one scene where like Lindsay, this girl said something and they took a reaction from my face to make it look like I was weirded out by it when it was probably me listening to something else. But that's not going to change how people see me overall. They're not going to edit me wrong every fucking scene unless I'm doing it.
I would imagine everybody on your show understands this. So
yes. So there has to be a trust factor. I would argue if I was filming this season, this has been a better season for me because
I love the way she said
I'm not going to lie. When I first came on, I was very aware of what I was saying. I was very aware of the cameras, and I didn't trust production yet. Once the show came out, I really think that they did a great job of portraying everyone, because if they know that we trust them, they know that we'll give them more.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really fascinating.
It really is. I'm like, this is cool, Francis.
Just to follow up on his question though, do you have the power to tell them you've got to go back and re-edit that?
Oh God, no. No.
You sign away your life.
My job is to go have fun, be myself. I wouldn't have been able to be on the show when I was like 24. When I was 24, I actually had a phobia of like, imagine if I did a reality show once and I didn't know who I was and they showed a side of me that like wasn't really me and everyone thought I was someone I wasn't. Like, I was all fucked up. After dating a dude that made me feel like I lost myself, I really had to work on my shit. I went to therapy and I really was like, who is Hannah? And then once I found that, this reality TV opportunity came and I'm like, this is a sign. Like, this is a chance for me to like be my full self, challenge all the things I thought I learned about myself and grow. So like, I own all my shit. Reality TV is not like, if I fuck up, it's about owning your shit, because everyone can relate to your fuck up. Everyone can relate.
Boom.
That's the podcast right there.
That's the podcast right there, folks. So that's a great point. People like to see a human being a human.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck up. It's fine. And it's going to lead to stronger relationships in general, which is another thing you alluded to, because like they make you confront things.
And I'm so bad at confrontation. I thought if I fought a girl in the beginning that like, okay, now I have beef with this girl the whole show. We actually got closer when I confronted this girl because I didn't like how she was talking about me. We got closer because she started to respect that I was standing up for myself. It's really like, I've really grown as a person from this stupid show.
And I feel that same way with relationships of people that I have who are more confrontational. Rick Velez, one of my best friends, he is a more confrontational person than I am. And we have had confrontations. And they're not significant, but more with him than I've had with most of my friends, and we're very, very close because of it. Because like we can be honest with each other,
and that's why we're such a family. And it's hard for new people to get cast and come in because like we've been through cheating rumors, we've been through breakups, we've been through like all types of things on and off camera, because we also deal with the production side. Amanda was like filmed having sex on camera, and it came out, and like she had trouble with it, and like we were there for her.
Batula?
Oh, Batula.
Is that her name? Amanda Batula?
Yeah, Batula.
But isn't she marrying the guy?
Yeah. Oh. But it was like, it had her like moaning.
It was
and she
too
was
graphic.
like, I didn't know. I mean, the show is everything you do. There's cameras everywhere. It's like Big Brother.
Right.
Like
crazy,
it's hard.
Wow.
Dating is the hardest thing. Like
to have a life away from it.
Well, I started seeing a guy 2 months before I knew I was shooting. And the first thing I said, I was like, you don't, this is really bad timing for me. Because if we start liking each other, next thing you know, you're going to have a producer on the phone going, okay, you ready to come to the house?
Wow.
Like, I'm not just, oh, you're dating Hannah.
Fallout.
It's, oh, do you want to be on a TV show?
And what
Big
if
Brother.
he had said no?
If he said no,
That he didn't want to be on the show?
then I'd have to decide, do I want to go on the show? And then like I lose the whole like storyline of my like relationships, which is like integral to the show, and me, I'd have to choose the show over him. And I kind of had to decide, like, you'll see, shit happens. Like,
good choice also in case that if that happened, because
it also,
it's your
reality
career
TV speeds stuff
it's
up.
new.
Like, I had to decide if this guy I really like, when I probably would have fucked around with him for like 8 more months.
yeah, exactly. That's funny that the thing you were talking about, the cutaway where they'll just show your face, that to me, I want to call it that the planet Earth edit.
And you can almost hear
They
the
just
music.
show like a cat with his head up that
Yeah.
it wasn't, the cat wasn't even there.
And I'm very
He knows the
expressive.
predator's coming.
Like, through a night, I give him a ton of emotions.
Yeah.
So that's like, my thing is, you'll mostly just see me eating. Like, I stress eat, and some of the other girls like don't eat at dinner, and I'm like, someone's in a fight, and I'm like, no one's eating the scallops. We're going to like nice ass
like
restaurants,
Crow's
and I'm
Nest.
like, no one's eating the burrata, and I'm just stuffing my face. And then afterwards, they're like, oh, are you gonna go in this guy's bed? And I'm like, I'm bloated. I feel like shit. I'm in a food coma. Go fuck yourselves.
So that's amazing. So much of it is more real than you would think. I
show
always
is real.
wondered about the scripted aspect of it.
The show is 100% real. It's the edit that tells the story. So, for example, me and you could be downstairs having a fight while Giulio's upstairs having flirting with a girl. That might get cut and they just show our fight. It doesn't mean it wasn't real. It's just they're showing what they want the audience to see.
Got it.
Interesting. And also, you said that the producers will kind of like see an opportunity to help you be your best.
The
way
producer's
for
job
the
is
show.
to speed things up. The producer's job is like, I might hear from you 2 weeks later that you're pissed at me. The producer's job is to tell someone to be like, you need to tell
pissed at
them
you.
that they're pissed at you. So they just like, life goes faster. And then also you have to reflect on shit more, where normally like, I don't like to feel things. They make you be like, okay, this guy just told you that. Does that make you happy or sad? Go talk to the girls, how it made you feel.
Can I ask you about that? This is the other thing I've been wondering forever. 2 questions. A, how soon after it's happening do they pull you out and make you talk to the camera?
Oh no, that's
later?
That's later.
And they like talk about it like it's now?
It depends on the show. Some shows, like Bachelor in Paradise, a guy will like break up with a girl and then she'll like be told to walk over and then immediately, still crying from what he
Okay.
said, be talking to camera.
I think that would be easier for me though.
Yeah.
To remember exactly what had
Sometimes
happened.
I don't remember shit. They'll be like,
Right.
how did you feel when you said this to this guy? And I'm like, said what? And they're like, do you remember at the dinner? I'm like, what dinner? Because I'm drunk the whole time.
Will they show you a clip back to jog
No.
your memory?
No, but they're talking about emotions.
Yeah.
Also, I have a on-camera drunk and an off-camera drunk. Like, on-camera drunk, there's always a side of me that's like, stay with it. You know when you're like in a conversation when you're drunk and you're like focused? I'm always in that like kind of focus space. But then like when I drink during the week, I'm like, I'm a free bird. I can puke in the street right now and America doesn't care. Yeah, so that's a fun fact about me.
Okay, so also, Ben, in addition to that, thank you for clarifying. Is there ever a moment where you're like, I just talked so much shit about this person, I need to tell them that I did that before the show airs because they're going to see it and it's going to be weird?
So the thing with reality TV is you want to own your shit. I think it's more you don't know what's going to be used, so you don't want to call someone and be like we have hours of interviews, so I'm not going to be like, oh, I talk shit about you if they might not even air it. Definitely I've had things happen where like it airs and it like comes off a little weird and someone messages me going like, hey, like, I love you, I didn't mean it like that. Or like I've tweeted something about a fight I had with a girl and I tweeted my perspective, and she said, hey, I thought we were cool. And I was like, yeah, we're cool, but like the audience, I want them to know like how I felt about the fight.
Wow.
One girl on the show last year, this was kind of the fight, was that she would make remarks that I wasn't like feminine enough. Like she'd be like, oh, you're wearing a skirt, like you're being feminine. My dad came to visit and she's like, we're trying to teach Hannah to be more girly.
I saw this clip this
and
morning.
like my dad, they didn't show, but afterwards he like, to tell my tennis coach dad that I need to be more girly, he gets mad when I paint my nails. Like I'm always his little athlete. And he was like, don't you ever listen to anyone who tells you to change who you are. So I got into it with her and I said, hey, like femininity is like, to me, is just being confident in yourself. And like, I don't think I have to change to be like more feminine. And she happens to have like fake tits and like platinum hair. And like, I wouldn't touch myself with a knife unless like I got hurt and I needed surgery. Cause I'm working on like loving who I am first before I try to change myself.
You look great.
Thank you, honey.
Wow, that was really good.
But then
that was a really nice piece that you just said.
Thank you. But we had a fight when we made up. But I put like a paragraph on Twitter just saying like femininity is not about like what society wants you to fit in. Like it's not a specific box. Femininity is like how you feel as a woman. It's same thing with like masculinity. Like guys feel pressure to like constantly be as fucking like manly as possible to be masculine enough. When it's like that just like social constructions of society trying to put you in boxes. So I just wrote that and she was like, I thought we were over it. And I'm like, yeah, but I think like this is bigger than us. This is like I'm trying to make a statement. So
good.
Was that Paige DeSorbo?
No.
Oh.
Paige is my girl. Don't talk shit about Paige.
I'm not talking shit about her.
You're trying to search it. He's in it. He's in it now.
All I heard was the platinum blonde thing, and I know that she's got blonde hair.
No, she has brown hair.
Then I don't know who I'm talking about.
Maybe
Francis,
you should do
clearly
a
love this
second of research before you ask me to take a 40-minute subway to come to your fucking place.
I apologize. I was trying to get clarification who that person was.
She's my best friend, and that's like super hurtful.
Who Paige is.
Yeah.
So who was the girl that you had the fight with about femininity?
Lindsay.
Okay.
Batula?
No, it's Amanda.
Hubbard.
Sorry.
Lindsay
Giulio,
Hubbard?
we were good.
We were cool. Fuck.
I have one last